So we're working on a new CentOS 7 host, and this CentOS 7 host is just going to be used for the DNSMask demonstration. We're going to start off using yum to run the install, and we can go straight ahead and accept it, and the package is called DNSMask. We can clear out our screen. Now we're going to go through and create the group. So group add, and it's a system group, or we want it to be a system group, so we use -r. We can call the group anything, but it might make sense to call it DNSMask. With that created, we're going to create then our user. We don't really want the service running as root, so we're going to create its own group and user account. So we can use then -r and then lowercase g to set the primary group. I'm going to set the primary group of the user to DNSMask, and of course we're going to create the user DNSMask. The system will have created a configuration, so let's move into the etc directory. And the configuration will be in this root level directory. So I'm just going to move the DNSMask configuration, and I'm going to move it through then to DNSMask, and we're just going to give it then a date-based extension. So we're going to evaluate the output of the date command with the option +%f. So that's going to have it in year, month, day format. Now when we go through and look at the DNSMask dot, we can see we've got an extension directory, and then we've got our old configuration file. We're going to create then the new configuration file, and even though we could leave it at the default, probably easier because we only need a certain amount of lines within this. So we're going to create then the new DNSMask.conf, and we can go into the insert. So we're going to put then the listen address, and we're going to have then equals, and we're just going to have it, let's say, on the local interface. But of course we could add in additional interfaces if we wanted it to listen on multiple interfaces. We're going to have it then on port and equals 53, so the standard port. And then bind interfaces, just ensuring then that we only use the interfaces that we have in the listen address. We're going to set our user, we're going to set this up to DNSMask, and the group account to use. So this is preventing it using the root account. We're going to use the user and group that we specified. We'll put the location of the PID file. We're going to have this in then var run, and DNSMask PID would seem like a good idea. So this is pretty much the minimum configuration that we need to get the system up and running. When we now go through and run our systemctl enable and start, we should now be able to go through and look at the status. So we can see then the information that we get back, and of course systemd gives me some log information coming back as well. Now one of the things that we can see that it's done is it's reading from the resolve.conf. Now this is where we have a little bit of a problem, because ideally I want to be pointing my resolve.conf to my local server. So this is working well if I don't want to resolve names on this host, but of course I do. So of course we do need a little bit of extra configuration. In the next video we'll look at extending our configuration out.